This is Kevin Harlan, and it's time for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. It's the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic. Now look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Tony Parker is out there with Wilkins. Then it's Schrempf. Then there's Noah. And it's Nowitzki in at the 4 spot.
What's crappin' in YouTube? It's Tuesday night, and I am bringing you a second episode of the MyEuroTeam West Edition. My opponent is playing in Orlando wearing the home Orlando jerseys with 3/5 of that classic roster starting lineup. That means that I've got to deal with Penny Hardaway, who just turned the ball over, and Nick Anderson, the sharpshooter, along with the big Shaq Diesel, and this is the young Shaquille O'Neal, the one that will run the floor. Dominique gonna show off the mid-range jumper.
Another nice move from a player we basically come to expect.
The Shaq Diesel in Orlando. He was phenomenal at that size, at that strength, and that mobility. The league had never seen anything like it. Probably never will again. His counterpart in the paint for Orlando is Bill Russell, Mr. 11 championships himself. And I would willingly trade my entire roster, minus Michael Jordan of course, for either one of those guys. Not to disrespect David Robinson or Robert Parrish, those being the two centers that did get me over the hump and into the first seed, through the first seed a couple times. As you can see, my opponent has begun to spin move in the paint with the likes of Anthony Hardaway. It is very difficult to stop, as we all know. Nick the Brick with a jumper. Bill Russell is there. That's why I'd like to have Bill Russell. He just gets it done. You've got so many of these MyTeam games that are decided by an offensive rebound here, an offensive rebound there, a loose ball here, a loose ball over there. And Bill Russell is the guy. He is that dude. Chill Green's out on the arc looking to take a bad shot. He decides to go ahead and take that, miss that. Dirk's there with the rebound. I love to get out in transition and get the ball out. But I'm trying to throw a selfie up to Dominique Wilkins, and he decides to throw it back behind a crowd of people with a very dangerous pass. So the Western European squad turns the ball over out of the broken play. Now my opponent has started to show some characteristics that we should all be familiar with. He's rotating around the arc, dribbling back and forth, and we've already seen the spin move in the paint. We have seen some failed charge attempts. All of the typical warning signs are there. We just need to stay on the cheese alert and make sure it doesn't get too ugly out there. Anthony Hardaway with another flush. I'd like to pick him up sometime. He's a guy that can play 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 positions sometimes. I mean, he can play great on-ball defense, great slasher, great finisher. Orlando's got Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the game now, so he's got some talent on his bench as well. Definitely more so than the Western European squad, but we're gonna make do. We're gonna tough it out. Detlef Schrempf looking for somebody to guard. Dirk Nowitzki looking for somebody to guard. He takes a tough shot with Larry Bird. And you know me, I'm already out on the other side of the floor looking for the nice finish. Dominique is probably my favorite player to play with in MyTeam mode. That goes above Jordan, that goes above Carmelo Anthony, it goes above Derrick Rose, some of my other favorite players to use. Dominique Wilkins is just fantastic. Another player on this roster that I enjoy using, I mean there's loads of them. I like Dirk, I like Batum, but another guy that I have enjoyed, I've played with him in 2K editions in years past, is Ben Gordon. I'll take him over J.R. Smith. I'll take him over those other six-man type players if you want instant offense off of the bench. He's got a very nice release. great from mid-range, great from outside. If you put microwave on him, it takes about 2 shots and he will begin to light it up. He's best used at the 2-guard position, but he can give you a few minutes at the point guard. And if you're running a small lineup, 3 guards out there, depending on what the matchup is, maybe he could fill in at the 3. Gordon has always been able to put the ball in the hoop. Excellent scorer. He's had some opportunities to start. And he's also spent a lot of games in the 6th man position. Overall, a pretty good player, and will be representing the UK in international play.
My mom, well, pretty much my entire family is of Jamaican descent. But, as you know, London has a very large Caribbean population. So they lived there. I'm not sure how many years they were living in London before they had me, but I was born in Hammersmith Hospital. And then I moved to New York when I was 10 months. And then I would visit, when I was younger. Before I started really playing basketball competitively, I would visit pretty much every summer to see my dad. And then once I started to play competitively and on teams and things like that, I stopped coming because, summer is a time where kids can get better and tournaments and stuff are going on. So I hadn't been back for a while. Until about 2 summers ago, came to visit some family.
Your dad's still in London?
Well, my dad is he was living in Wembley for a while, but now he's in Africa now.
So you still got some family?
Yeah, I still have a lot of family. When I came back, I think 2 summers ago, I seen pretty much another half of my family that I hadn't seen since I was probably 9. So I have a lot of family still here, and it was great to see them. So that's another reason why I would like to come out here, is just to be able to reconnect with my family, reconnect with some of my fans that watch me from overseas and things like that. So it's special for me.
How British do you feel?
Not very British. Just from my memories, I have a lot of good memories. Some of my favorite are like the different chocolates and the food. I remember eating fish and chips out the newspaper. That used to be my favorite. And then I love British chocolate. I think they have the best chocolate. So those are some of my fondest memories.
And how much would playing in the Olympics over here in 2012 mean to you?
That would, just to participate in the Olympics, alone would be amazing. But to play here, 2012 in the country I was born in, I don't have any words to describe that. My family would be, really proud, and it would be something special, something very special.
And how hard do you think Miami are going to make things for you in the East this year?
It just seems like they did what Boston did all over again. With putting those 3 players on one team is it's going to be crazy. Those guys are all very talented. They have arguably the first and second best players in the league on the same team. So it's going to be tough. I think the only thing that's stopping them from being successful is chemistry and, injuries.
What do you think of LeBron's decision to go there? He's got a lot of criticism, not so much for leaving Cleveland, but just like his whole legacy. He's going and joining Wade's team. Do you think it's maybe hurt his reputation long term?
I think in the eyes of the media, yes, but it seems like LeBron is fine with that. For him to join 2 other superstar players and leave, a city in which he's had so much success, shows that he's really concerned about trying to win a championship, and maybe not so much about his legacy. So I applaud him for that.
What do you think about his ESPN special?
I probably wouldn't have done that, but LeBron. I'm not LeBron James, so I'm sure he had a good reason.
What do you, in terms of your aspirations for international ball, what has Lou talked to you about how it's changed him or helped him as a player playing here against, especially against different kind of defenses than you get in the NBA, and how that might benefit you down the track?
Yeah, he said it was kind of hard because they just clog the lanes. In the NBA, we can't stay in the lane, and you have to get out every 3 seconds. So it's a little different, but I've played international basketball before, and I don't really feel like it's that much of an adjustment. I think it'll be easy for me just because I've had prior experience.
You think as a kind of shooter that someone's made for you,
yeah.
even more
that 3-point line is awfully close. So
is that the moving it? So
are they gonna move it back?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. We're looking for the best British citizens we can find to play the game, and people's connection. You can look at a bunch of different countries. People have different connections to the country they play for. And with Ben, we knew that he had a British passport. And once we got rolling in 2007, we made contact. And I asked for a copy of the passport just to clarify that it existed, and it did indeed. We're just trying to put the best thing we possibly can on the floor within the regulations that exist. And, dealing with Ben, I can sum it up in 2 small stories. One is the one that has resulted in him being here today. He had an open invitation. We knew that he could play the summer. He had an open invitation to come visit at any time. We really wanted him to come, but that email that I got from him over the weekend, there was no pressure. That was his initiative to come here. So that tells you a lot, and I think it's the rare player that would spend 20 hours in a plane over the course of a couple days to be here for a day to make the statement he's making. And also it all started the first time I went to Chicago to recruit him, and knowing, as I said earlier, about you had the option of playing with America or Great Britain or even Jamaica, for that matter. And I had a speech ready and everything. I went in the locker. Lou introduced me, and I started my speech. And he said, "Hey, I'm in. Here's my BlackBerry information. Stay in touch." And so that's been really easy to deal with Ben, and it's just been health roadblocks and contractual stuff that stopped him from playing.
Rob, we went 0-3 in Europe last year.
Yeah.
Assuming, touch wood, that we qualify for next year, what do you think Ben will bring to the team, and how will he increase our chances?
Well, he gives other people space. So right now, Lou doesn't have a lot of space, and he gives the other players on the team space. If we had Ben and Lou, if we had a fully armed lineup last summer, I can only talk about last summer because we're not qualified for Lithuania yet. That people were saying that if you were fully loaded, that's one of the 5 teams that can win your European Championships. And to say that about a Great Britain team is quite a statement, so it makes us a lot better.
Ben Gordon can make a shot from anywhere on the court. Is it magic or is it magnets? Tiny magnets placed on the ball, ensuring a strong attraction to the metal rim. Watch. Then when Ben needs more magnets, Ben needs more magnets. Don't believe me? Watch the NBA playoffs and you'll see there's really no other explanation.
Well, maybe he left the magnets in Chicago, because ever since then he has been trying to live up to various contracts and get out of various coaching doghouses. The game's pretty closely contested, 33-33. My opponent's still trying to get the ball inside. Dirk with the rejection, but the referees decide to bail Orlando out and send Nick Anderson to the line. Nick Anderson is sick and tired of everybody perpetuating this false idea that he can't make his free throws. He's going to tell everybody to shut up and move on. He's here to play. As we see, one of the reasons why Ben Gordon often finds himself in the doghouse, Dirk Nowitzki gets hammered by Gerald Green and Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille just walks away like he didn't have anything to do with it. Dirk Nowitzki's going to calmly step to the free throw line, knock down a pair for the good guys. And it's a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. But why would the outro music be playing already? I guess that means I need to wrap this game up.